First off, I just want to say I respect the hell out of JGod. He is one of the absolute best Call of Duty content creators ever to be placed on this earth. Thank you, JGod, for what you do. However, there is something that he did make a mistake on, and I'll get to that momentarily. First, I want to show you how to get all of your mastery camos for all of your weapons. Today, we're talking about snipers and marksman rifles. So let's go ahead and start with our first marksman rifle, which is the KVD Enforcer. And you want to build it with this laser, you want to build it with this optic, and you want to build it with this magazine. And the reason you want to build it with those items is because the challenges for gold are get 10 kills with this gun with a laser attachment. And the thing is, I found that only the first laser worked for this challenge. I tried multiple lasers, but I used the very first laser and it was the only one that was actually tracking for me. So make sure you use the laser attachment that I just showed you. For Forged, you have to get one-shot kills, which is simple. You really just need to go into hardcore and get kills that way, which is not a problem. And then for Priceless, you want to get 25 kills with an 8x magnification scope, and that's why I showed you this scope here. And that's how you want to build the weapon. As far as equipment goes, you don't really need to worry about anything. So make sure you build the KVD Enforcer in this way, and that's the challenges for Gilded, Forged, and Priceless. Let's move on to the next weapon. That's the MCW 6.8. I'll go ahead and show you guys how I have that built out. You want to go ahead and again use the same laser. You want to use a suppressor and you want to use a magazine, because for this in gold, you have to get 10 kills while using a laser. And again, the first laser is the only one that seemed to track for me. It may track for you, but just to keep it on the safe side, I would highly recommend using that first laser. And then for Forge, we have get 3 kills with 1 magazine. Something very important to understand about that, and I mentioned it, you don't necessarily have to get those kills within 1 life. You can get a kill and then you can die if you need to, and then get another kill and then get another kill after that. But don't reload. That's the thing that matters most of all. Just do not reload when you're doing this challenge and you should be fine. Get 15 suppressed clean kills. What that is basically a one-shot kill. Go into hardcore mode, make sure you have a suppressor, and then fire away, and you should be absolutely fine with that. And moving on to our third marksman rifle, the DM56. Let's go ahead and put that in the gunsmith. And you'll see here, this time we're going to use a different laser. And the reason we're going to use this laser is because we do have a challenge for tack stance. And if you notice, hip recoil control and tack stance has 3 bars with this laser. Anytime I had a problem doing tack stance challenges, I used that laser and it helped out tremendously. So paired with that laser, you're going to use this foregrip because it also helps out with tack stance as well. So you want to build the weapon that way. You can add some more stuff if you want, but this is how I ran it to keep it light and agile. And the reason you want to run it this way is as shown. To get gold again, we need to get kills with a laser. You may have to equip the first laser slot for that, but you can also try to use the laser that I have attached already. I, just to be safe, used the first laser in the slot and then did them separately for the challenges. Now, moving on to Forged. There you go, 25 kills while in tack stance, and that's why we have it built that way. And then for Priceless, it's pretty simple. You just need to get headshot with iron sights. So that's pretty simple. You can basically go into hardcore and then just get headshots with iron sights, and it should not be that big of an issue. If you do need to add something else to make your gun more stable, you can do that as well. But for me, I had no problem getting those kills with the iron sights built as is. Getting into our last marksman rifle, the MTZ Interceptor. Let's go ahead and show you how we have this one built out right now. Basically, you want to build this thing for movement, so put on the best attachments that you think will be good for movement, and then throw on some ammunition for crippling power. That's basically how I built this, because you want to move. And the reason you want to move is because you're going to have a riot shield on your back. And the reason you have a riot shield on your back comes down to the challenges that we have for this weapon. Again, we do have gold, which is get kills with the laser. Obviously, we've went past it already. We want to use the first laser in the slot because the other lasers were not tracking, at least for me. Okay, then moving on to Forge, 3 kills without dying. This is very important here because every other challenge that has kills without dying says 5 kills without dying, and that's the bug. I think they meant to put 3 kills without dying on every single one of those challenges that says 5 kills without dying. And you see it here, get 3 kills without dying 10 times, which isn't too bad, but that's also why we're running the loadout like we have the loadout. And you'll see in a second. They have 5 kills without dying. But again, for me, this was 3. So basically these two challenges for forged and priceless were 3 kills without dying. That's how it tracked for me. So make sure you pay attention to that and make sure you get 3 kills at least, and you should be good to go. Now, going back over into our build, what we have, how we want to run this thing for a loadout, you make sure you want to use the riot shield because you need to get those 3 kills without dying. And if you want to add insult to injury, put the big salty decal on it. I loved running this. I think it made people upset, but hey. And then you want to have quick weapon swap gloves, and you want to get around the map quickly, and then you want to have your black light as well. And that's how I run it, just like always. And that will be it for the marksman rifles. Let's go ahead and get into the sniper rifles. While we're pulling up the sniper rifle category, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any videos like this in the future. Like the video for the algorithm and share it to a friend. Or don't share to a friend if you want to stay competitive with said friend. Now that you've liked and subscribed, let's move into the snipers. Let's start with the first one, and it's called the Cat-AMR. I just think of it as a little pussy cat, but let's go ahead and throw this thing into the range. We need to go ahead and build it out for our equipment. This one actually does matter as far as equipment goes. So the first thing you want to throw on is the marksman gloves, and you'll see why we use the marksman gloves here in just a moment. And then just use your shoes to run around quick, and I always use the black light. So let's go ahead and go into our loadout, and I'll show you that I have just a suppressor on there. We have our armor piercing rounds. Now for the challenges, the gold is always the same, 10 focused kills, and that's why you want to use those marksman gloves, because you can hold your breath longer, so you can get more focused kills and you don't have to sit there and release your breath. So you can actually use the marksman gloves and hold your breath a bit longer. That's why I have them in the loadout. And then going into forge, you need 15 penetration kills. Again, that is why we use our armor piercing rounds, so that we can go through stuff around the map. You don't necessarily need to shoot through solid objects. You can shoot through a fence as shown in a previous video for penetration kills. But the thing is, with a sniper, you can actually get more penetration kills through glass because it's only one round going through the glass to break it. And then moving on to priceless, we have get 3 suppressed headshot kills, and that's why we have our suppressor on there. And that's basically it for this weapon, and that's why we have it built out the way that we do. Now let's go ahead and get to what everyone's been waiting for, and that is the Longbow. It's the second sniper rifle in this category, and we're going to go ahead and go in to look at our challenges first. You'll notice that this gun is built like an SMG, and that's how I ran it for almost all of these challenges. For gold, we do again have to get the same thing, 10 focused kills, and that's simple. That's why we have our gloves. But what everyone's waiting for is to see forged, because they have something here that is interesting and confusing, and I'll just let J God himself tell you about it.
There's also this weird challenge that doesn't really explain it very well. This one you need to get 25 kills while ADS and fully loaded with the longbow, but it doesn't really explain what fully loaded is. Pretty much all you need to do for this challenge is make sure you change your equipment vest to the gunner vest, and this will deploy with max ammo. So for the fully loaded part, you can see on the bottom right, I have my 30 bullets in my magazine, but I also have 200 in reserve, and that's the part that's important. As long as that number's at 200, every kill that you get will actually count towards this.
So now that we've heard J God say what he needed to say, I will go ahead and make the correction for this right now, because unfortunately the man is wrong. J God is awesome. Brother, if you see this video, nothing but respect for you, my man. Nothing but respect. And this is actually a very easy mistake to make, especially for anyone that's ever played Call of Duty. Any title that says fully loaded means full ammo. So I really don't fault J God on that. How he did manage to get the challenges done is he must have had full attachments on his gun whenever doing that challenge. That's the problem with this. It's the wording, because it says ADS while fully loaded. That's what that challenge says, but that's not what it means. What that challenge actually means is you need full attachments on this weapon. So you need 5 attachments. That's what they mean by fully loaded. It's not proper, and I agree, it's very confusing. When I first saw this challenge, I also thought it meant with full ammo. And so what I did was exactly like J God said too. I used the gunner vest because, as it said, and you saw in his video, you deploy with max ammo, and fully loaded in the past meant max ammo. So why they worded it like that, I do not know. So for anyone out there that is confused, for this weapon and for this challenge, that is what it means. It means you need full attachments on the gun while ADS. So use your attachments, 5 attachments, whatever those attachments may be, it doesn't matter. I have this gun built out for movement and speed, basically an SMG sniper, but that's fine. That's how I like to rank it up. And I do want to give a shout out to one of my Discord members and someone who plays a big part in my community over here on the Russ channel, Mr. Dubzilla TV. Thank you very much, because this man did help me out with this challenge. So thank you, sir. Let's give him a W. Now that that's all said and done, we do need to move on to our third and final sniper rifle, the KV inhibitor. And let me show you why I had this thing built as long as I have it built. So basically, you have the challenges to get 10 kills while focused down sight. Again, just like every other sniper rifle. And then for forged, we have 25 headshot kills. And that's the first reason that we have it built for accuracy and range. And the second reason we have it built for accuracy and range is you'll see here for priceless, 5 headshots while moving. This one was kind of difficult for me, and I actually tried a few different ways. I did build it this way, a super long and accurate sniper rifle, but then I also put a red dot on it and ran it around like an SMG as well. But at the end of the day, this build here turned out to be the best for me, and I'll just show you the build real quick. I basically built it for everything long range for accuracy, and that's everything here that you see. I won't go through everything. You can always choose your own attachments, but these are the attachments I chose and that I went with, and it seemed to work out pretty well for me. And as you see, we did pop priceless with this build. Well, congratulations, you just finished Marksman rifles and sniper rifles, so the next category you want to look at is LMGs and launchers, and lucky for you, they're on screen right now.